My name is Sonja Cole, and I graduated Head Start in 1988 from Kentucky River Foothills. I'm very honored to be here today representing the 27 million Head Start and Early Head Start families across the nation. My Head Start story is just one example of what it means to be an at-risk child in Eastern Kentucky. My twin sister and I were born in a small community in Kentucky where drug usage, high school dropout, and teen pregnancy rates are high. Our parents were an example of those statistics. My mother, who had already given birth to a child at 17 and subsequently had that child taken away, gave birth to my sister and I at age 19. To her own admission, she smoked, drank, and did drugs during her pregnancy. My sister and I were born premature, each weighing only 3 pounds. We grew and went home from the hospital. Our parents were doing okay with help from their family. However, within 6 months, that all changed. My sister died from SIDS. After her funeral service, I was removed from her care by social services. I was placed in kinship care with my great-grandparents. At that time, when I came to live with them, they were both in their late 70s, having already raised their children and some of their grandchildren. So as a young child, I spent my days playing mainly by myself, or other family members. When I turned 3, I began attending Kentucky River Foothills. It was truly like a window opened for me. I had children my own age to play with. I had adults who interacted with me. I can still remember my time there. I remember my teacher singing songs. She loved the name game song. I loved to paint at the easel, play in the dramatic play area, and I learned to write my name. I still have drawings and a picture that I created with my grandmother while I was a student. I believe that Head Start created positive educational experiences for me, instilling in me a love for school and learning that has only grown and gotten stronger over time. During my childhood, the circumstances around me were difficult. I lived in poverty. Our only income was Social Security checks that came after the death of my great-grandfather. I experienced visits from my uncle, who was an alcoholic, and my father, who was addicted to prescription pain medication. Their visits were to bum money to feed their habits. Visitations were arranged with my mother, whom I didn't know, and that left me feeling unwanted and abandoned. I witnessed the passing of my grandparents and relocated to live with family members several times. I felt like the child that was raised by the village. I lived with 4 different family members until when I was 14, my final placement in kinship care was arranged with my great aunt. This instability and upheaval in my world was challenging to deal with. I could have let these experiences define me. I could have followed the examples of my parents, dropping out of school, turning to substances, or continuing to live in the cycle of poverty. Instead, I developed a goal. I kept the window open for myself. I got my first job while in high school to take care of myself. I joined sports teams instead of going to parties. I never took any substances. I enrolled in college and was the first generation of my family to graduate with a bachelor's degree. I teach preschool, working with children who have special needs. However, I wanted to do more. I wanted to give back to the educational community that gave me an opportunity. The community that held the first window of opportunity open for me and instilled in me a love of learning. In 2010, I was given that opportunity when I became the new Early Head Start manager at Kentucky River Foothills. Design a brand new program and give quality care to infants and toddlers in the very community I came from, able to work with teachers and family service workers who worked with me as a child. I was able to give back, to keep the window open, and to give new opportunities to children ages birth to 5. It now seems that my future is bright with possibilities. I have recently enrolled in classes to further my education and obtain my master's degree in educational leadership. I want to use my knowledge and skills to help our agency's Birth to 5 programming grow and expand in the future, to continue assisting teachers as they provide quality service for our young children and families. Head Start was the building block of my success. It created a strong educational foundation on which I was able to build on. I feel that Head Start and Early Head Start programs are an asset to the communities, children, and families they serve. My successes are an example of those benefits. They can be reaped when children attend Head Start services. Keep the window of opportunity open. And by doing so, you'll be allowing our next generation of alumni the opportunity to succeed. Thanks.